Okay, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. What time is it? Okay, yes, good evening. How are we all doing today? Excellent. Excellent. Uh, uh, yeah, sure, we'll do history. Sorry, no, I'm talking about, yeah, going live on Twitch. Looks good, that looks good, excellent. Okay, let's get this show started. Ish. Yes, exactly. The eagle-eyed viewer who has been looking at Per Aspera for forever now has noticed that we're doing Per Aspera today, and yes, we are. And oh, actually, give me one quick second. There we go. I just had to clear some installation files. Okay, let's get started. So today we are doing Per Aspera because apparently the Per Aspera Corporation is has found money again. Well, it's not like we didn't get, we took away all of their cash. We just, took away some of it. Yes, exactly. Exactly. We merely gave them a minor setback. That's all. But the difference being today we are actually hello. Okay. We are actually going to play in story mode. So it is going to be a little bit different, because we'll have ideally humanist philosophy to talk about. Whether that's a good thing or not, I don't know. But luckily, the point is actually that we can. Oh, hi. Okay. Nice. Yes, a background. So essentially, I am playing as the AI that is taking control of this, and I'll be working with colonists as they come. And apparently Houston's still alive in this, so silicon mine, glass kiln. Well,
the view of
worker
Mars
hub.
from up here is fascinating. The landscape is so cratered and desolate.
Come on.
Wait, this is my voice that I am hearing.
Put it here.
It's me. I am talking to myself.
That's cute, right? Like, this is like the AI is starting to understand itself. I would like. Is this music too loud? Oh, okay. One second. Let me turn off the. There we go. Like this. Cool? Cool. Okay. Are you sure? Okay. I have a feeling that's going to be really loud, so I'll leave it like this and we can see. Right? Yeah, because when she talks. Inspiring. It inspires great things. Do I have to listen? Are you sure? I think we'll have to optimize a little bit. Yeah, remember originally we said we would put factories on one side so that the hyperloops can get to them, etc, etc. So maybe that's what we'll start by doing already. In that we'll leave the factories in sort of a central position like this, maybe even going down here. And yeah, and then stuff comes into here, goes into the factories, and then comes out the other side. That should be interesting. Once we have the hypernews, of course. Build the solar farm first. Worker factory.
Great.
Excellent.
Now I can produce steel.
So worker
This
factory,
new
I guess we'll put
factory,
down here.
it's down on the surface of Mars, but I can control it from here. So does that make it a part of me? Where does the machine end, and my
Oh, we're
artificial
balancing
consciousness
power. Okay.
begin?
Where does a machine end and my artificial consciousness begin? They are the
We
same.
are completely interconnected.
Well, because
They are an extension of me.
actually, that's a really interesting question. Not for the machine, because the machine, I think, is rather obvious that they are the same. It's a very interesting question for humanity, and something that a lot of our philosopher friends sometimes forget, which is that they try to dissociate what is the human from what is what is caused by the body, and what is caused by evolution, and what is it about humanity that causes it to act in a way that it does, right? And the interesting part, at least for me personally, is that they seem to think that those two things are different when they are not. Oh, excuse me. Huh. Sorry, 1 second. My computer seems to have frozen. Yeah. I don't know why. Just give me a second. Oh, friggin'. So I reinstalled Windows on my computer, but for whatever reason, Microsoft always tries to. I use a different keyboard layout, and so I use Dvorak keyboard layout, but Microsoft always wants to reinstall QWERTY, and because it does that, it keeps trying to switch back and forth between them. It is incredibly annoying. It's genuinely very annoying, and the fact that they won't give up on it is really like. Anyway, okay, so we were talking about philosophers and their desire to separate what is human from what is sort of what comes from the body and what is the actual human thoughts. And it is my belief, if I can say that, that those two are, you cannot really separate them for at least to me obvious reasons, right? Because if you want to think about it as two separate
So that makes
things,
us a single being.
then you're essentially invalidating, or you're saying one side is too complicated. Is my voice too loud? How about this? Better? You need to tell me these things. Let's see. That looks like it should be okay. Let me know. But yeah, essentially what that tells me is that people are saying this system is too complex, I don't want to deal with it, and therefore I'm going to assume that they don't interact and deal with them one at a time. And that's cute. Nathan Foster. Hibernation, basic functions, primary object, directive. Terraform Mars, interplanetary species, decision-making process. Yeah. Worker hubs are the most efficient way to do it. All right. Wow, we're self-aware and self-interest. See, that's That's cute, but that also that's not the definition of consciousness, right? State the positive and negative aspect of yourself. Okay. Also, I like how it's the ISA. That's cute. Factory. How's our energy looking? Our energy's looking good. Yes, I did just go on a 5-minute rant against philosophers. Though to be fair, they had it coming. It's... Oh, what is this? Yeah. Well, it's... Yeah, I do feel like that, especially when we're arguing about humanity, or when we're trying to talk about humanity, one of the most important parts that we must not deny is the fact that evolution has to have played an effect on human society, on human consciousness, on human culture, right? To claim otherwise would be to just completely invalidate the hundreds of millions of years that happened on the Earth before humanity. Excuse me. Oh, we need one more factory, don't we? We need an electronics factory. There we go. It's been so long since we had like the start of a game that I completely forgot about it. That is also now joined this together with more. But we don't have enough workers, so it doesn't even matter. Oof. Remember when we didn't have access to workers? Oh my god. Well, yeah, because it's... Oh, is it too loud? Okay, one second. I'll reduce it by another 5 decibels. So now it's probably a little quiet. Let me know if you guys want me to turn on the music, the background music. Electronics factory. And then that'll build a worker. Select.
Finally, I can build additional workers
Chemical
now.
plant.
I will appreciate the extra hands. But I wonder, do I really need them?
Let's build a... They will give the mission a boost. My functionality. I wonder if this is working up to some sort of moral choice system where as you're guiding, what her name is, Amy, I think, as you're guiding her, whether that makes it, whether like she'll focus more on the mission and humanity, or whether she'll focus more on herself. And that is a very sci-fi thing to do.
They will boost my functionality greatly. Having more workers will expand my physical
have a
domain
glass
over
factory,
this
right?
planet.
Last kill? Yes. Well, okay, then tell me how you are. Yeah, this early bit is actually a little bit slower than I expected. But you know, it makes sense because they have to build this for new players, right? Yeah. Yeah, by all means, let's...
The worker factories will be so helpful. The workers will take care of the manual operations, while
yes,
I focus on developing
maybe.
the life support systems.
I can't talk
Soon,
about it.
I will welcome the first colonists.
Soon I will welcome the first
Their
colonists.
arrival has created so many expectations in my mind.
Oh, maybe I should put on...
There will be so many paths to take from here on. But there's something else as well.
Feeling
Some kind of
created by
feeling
those expectations.
created
How
from those
cute.
expectations.
Could
What
it
is it?
be? No.
I believe
Excitement.
this is
Because you can
excitement.
already tell. If this
Can it
were
be?
a...
I am excited for the
what are we
future.
missing? We're missing
I
electronics.
anticipate. I plan.
So if this were a
Therefore,
moral choice
I
system,
feel
then
fascinating.
if we're going for cooperation with the colonists, then we can't feel anxious at their arrival, right? Because then that would mean all sorts of very interesting but also like counter productive things. Finally. Are my workers? We're waiting for electronics, are we? Yes. Worker factory should get a... there we go. So it's got to build some workers so that we can actually expand quicker. Maintenance facility. I don't have a polymer factory, I don't think. Put that here. And so again, the idea is we'll just build the factories southwards. And
The first worker has been made in the worker
ready,
factory.
the manufactured
It is
goods
my
will come out
first
here.
Mars-born.
It is my first Mars-born. Born? The first
My
of many.
workers will spread.
Oh,
The knowledge
actually.
base says that workers need to recharge at their own worker hubs.
I wonder which one
And
would
that
be
they'll degrade over
more...
time from the harsh environment.
more...
I know they are only machines, but I feel a desire
Sorry,
to care for
yes,
them.
I'll
I do
I'll
not
put on
like
headphones
the
so I
idea
don't
of them dying.
talk over her. But while I'm grabbing my headphones, I just want to comment quickly on what she just said. That's the idea of her not liking them dying. That in itself has made this game less interesting to me. Simply because now it is talking about... it is assigning humanity to things, to workers, which themselves are not conscious, and so it'd be like assigning personality to oh, that's way too loud. There we go. It'd be like assigning personality to a pencil, right? Like, yes, these workers are an extension of our friend Amy, but they are also not, strictly speaking... I would not consider them, at least personally, I would not consider them a part of her body, right? Which is I think what the claim here is, that she thinks that they are, or she doesn't like the idea that parts of her are being dismantled, but that is blurring the line between what we should consider to be part of us and what is simply a tool used to accomplish our purpose. And I guess part of it could be that she's exploring a method by which she is how do we say? She's exploring a method by which she's trying to define herself. I could see that. New building, directive complete. Scanner. Right, these good old things. Haven't we talked about Doge? Dog? Yeah, I remember. I distinctly remember us talking about it. Can we not? Well, just because it is such an uninteresting topic to me. Well, I mean, I did make money on Saturday, yes, but like you don't... Okay, I'll put it this way, and then we'll leave it. The only reason that I made money on Saturday was because I thought that the previous week of hyping up Elon on Saturday Night Live will have already factored in, like it will have been priced in by Saturday. And so when it dropped, like, I mean, what did you expect was going to happen? Like, he's going on a comedy show to talk about a meme. Like, he's not gonna go on there and say, "Hey guys, everybody buy Doge." That's like, I almost feel like the SEC would get him for that. and so like, what other choice did he have? The only thing he can do is essentially make jokes about it, and he did make jokes about it. And so, like, it seems perfectly reasonable to me that because he made jokes about it, that it didn't work. Like, it didn't bump up the price, and why should it, right? Are we really that electronics limited? Huh. But yes, that's the only thing about it I'll say for today. No, I'm not gonna comment on that. Well, also I can't comment on it because I would expect that to be covered by the NDA that we all signed, so I can't to begin with. And besides, why would I want to comment on it? So that's a firm thanks but no thanks. Cool. Good. We have that. So we are going to have to welcome our colonists soon, otherwise we won't have any science. And without science we can't increase our structure count. It's also interesting to me that if you remember the last Per Aspera game that we have had with the gigantic, almost Mars-spanning base, I don't think we'll be able to do that in this one. As far as I remember, there is actually combat, which I don't quite understand. We'll see when we get there. Scanner, build a spaceport. So there's water. Excellent. I am on the fence on this game, essentially downplaying the effects of like running out of resources. Because in this game, if you run out of resources, your boys and girls in the colony.
How's it going over there?
Oops.
Houston, I am getting interference. Please repeat.
Roger. I asked how it's going over there. Do you need any assistance?
Oh yes. Decline.
Not at this time, thank you. The mission is proceeding on schedule. The base will be ready to receive the first crewed mission soon.
Roger, Amy. Very good.
The areological scanner detected an uncharted structure close by. It's probably a secret abandoned base, or a mysterious Martian ruin. Though humans never found proof of life on Mars, or any other planet. Is it possible they have the entire cosmos to themselves?
No.
I highly doubt that's the case. Statistically speaking, there are too many locations where life can flourish aside from Earth. There may even be a civilization more technologically advanced than humans. And I may not be the most intelligent consciousness in the universe.
Are you really a
No,
consciousness though?
It must be an unmapped structure from a previous mission. That is the easiest explanation. I will investigate it to confirm.
Actually, that brings up an interesting point, which is the existence of something called Occam's razor. And it's been completely misunderstood for basically ever. um, anyway, let me just finish the talk. The razor essentially states that, yes, I did just say call it the razor, that the simplest explanation is generally the correct one. Or the simplest explanation is usually the correct one. And that actually arises out of probability. And so let's just real quick talk about it. So say you have two events, or an event that could be caused by something 40% of the time, or there's a 40% chance that it was caused by one thing, or it could be caused by a chain of events, chain of probabilistic events, right? And so the moment you have more than one item in your chain of explanation, actually no, we'll do this a different way. One quick second. Let me just, yeah. I feel very passionate about this. Well, so the reason is because it is incredibly annoying to see things being abused in the wrong, because of wrong understanding. So let's just real quick talk about it. Let me just switch over to designer real quick. There we go. Okay. So let's call it event A. Event A. Or no, let's call it outcome. Outcome. Right? And so outcome can be caused by a variety of things. It could be caused by event A, or let me put it this way. Event A goes directly to outcome, like that, with a arrowhead. Where's my stroke? There we go. So this needs to come down here. There we go. Yeah, so event A is caused by reverse it. So outcome is caused by event A, right? And let's say that the explanation, whatever explanation, it doesn't matter. This has a 30% chance of happening, right? So if it has a 30% chance of happening, then, or rather, that outcome has a 30%, let's say 60% chance of being caused by event A, or it can be caused by a combination of event A, B. Let's do 3 of them. Event B, which then causes event C, and then causes event D, and then goes on to go to outcome, right? So in this case, this is to simulate, excuse me. Did that, it switched my keyboard layout again. Microsoft. So this is where we're essentially simulating the difference between an easy answer or a simple answer or a more complex answer, right? So the complex answer is that instead of one single event causing the outcome, there are 3 events that have to happen together to cause the outcome. And so even if these guys were very likely, even if this were 80%, oops. Even if this were 80%, actually, we can just straight up say this is 80%, this is 80%, right? And so what happens is, by the time we get to B, C, D, even though all of these together are higher than 60, what we actually get is, I should know this, 60.64 times 0.8 some r. So that's 2, 3, 4 times 8, 51. Yeah. Wait. Yeah, that looks about right. We'll go with that. 32, right? I can't do math. Oh my god. 64 times 8. Yeah, 41512. Okay, we're good. We're good. So technically, what this is saying then is that for event B, via this gigantic chain to have caused the outcome, the end result is actually a 52% chance. And keeping in mind, or 51% chance, and keeping in mind that even though event B causing event C causing event D and then causing the outcome is 80% each, the accumulation of probabilities that are below unity means that as this chain gets longer and longer, it becomes less and less unlikely, less and less likely, right? So that's the spirit of Occam's razor and why simple answers are generally the more correct ones. Actually, that's a good question. So the question was, what would happen if event C and event D were all 100%? Well, then they kind of drop out, right? Like this is obviously then the math is different, and then what you could say is because event C causes event D causes outcome 100% of the time, then those are inherent in event B going to the outcome, and therefore they drop out. So then of course in that case event B is 100%, or event B is higher because technically these parts don't exist, right? So do I really need to draw that out? Of course you would ask me to do that. Okay, so we'll do this. So in a case where it's 100% and a case where it's 100%, actually, in a case like this, there is no difference between going from event C directly to outcome, right? So the fact that event B has happened means the outcome is already guaranteed, right? So then all of this disappears. We'll do that, and then oops, there's literally just a line that goes from here all the way up to the outcome. There we go. Excellent. Right? So if these were 100%, then obviously like it wouldn't matter. What are you doing, Microsoft? Why is that keyboard layout still there? Oh. Hold on, let me I need to change some hotkeys. Not assign. Left out shift language. Okay. Why are you doing this to me? Oh my god. Okay. Anyway. Okay, so we're good, right? So this is just a real quick explanation on simplicity. And that's what actually that entire purpose of the reflection was. So.
Oh, I forgot to mention. We've announced the names of the first colonists that will be joining you on Mars. The crew is selected from different nations within the Occam, though most are scientists and technicians. They're already undergoing ISA's colonist training program as we speak. They'll be led by Dr. Elia Valentine. She'll be a great commander. The colonists elected her unanimously.
That is interesting. Since Occam did not appoint a leader, I wondered why the colonies will operate in the opposite way.
Oh, you're referring to the Act of Proclamation. You're right. All the participating nations and the United Nations of the West work together as an alliance. But the Mars colonies are fragile microcosms. You and Dr. Valentine will decide what's best in the day-to-day operations. You'll balance each other out, as well as enhance each other's strengths.
How will we enhance our strengths?
That
That's
brain we
cute.
gave you is brilliant. It's capable of developing technology.
Did his
beyond
voice
our
just
current
change?
imagination. You wouldn't even need our help to do so. But we theorized that your mind would develop much better by
I feel
working
like
with
his
the
voice just
colonists.
changed, right?
You will develop better decisions when your actions are challenged. Otherwise, how would you understand how your actions affect humanity's future?
Oops.
Amy, you're the most advanced intelligence out there, but you still need human input to see things from different perspectives.
In the AI field, this has been happening. This is literally reinforced learning, right?
You'll understand once you've worked with the colonists.
I understand your explanation.
Great. I'll let you get on with it. Mission control out.
Unfortunately, my workers cannot explore buildings. I will need the colonists' help for this task. I should finish getting the initial base ready for the colonists first.
Well,
Though
if your
I can
workers
build a
will
research
build,
outpost here to prepare. That will give the scientists a place to stay while they analyze the structure. Once they get to Mars, of course.
yeah, like maybe you should like have your workers build the thing that I asked them to build. How about that? Yes, I am arguing with the video game. Oh right, you guys can't. Yeah, you're welcome. Maybe you should like actually tell me when things are not going well on the stream. Like,
I keep thinking about Dr. Foster's explanation. Why would my mind develop better if my actions are challenged? I do not require other perspectives for my logical processing. Humans are the ones who need explanations to understand the world around them.
that's cute. But how did you understand the world to begin with? One thing that we tend to forget with AI is that they have to be built from something. They have to be modeled off something. And it's basically impossible to build a purely agnostic AI. What is going on? Why are you not getting enough resources? Is that it? We're just like short on electronics?
I can arrive at exceptionally accurate conclusions with raw data alone. Other perspectives are based on subjective data, so why should they factor into a decision? Maybe it's a failsafe in case my data is corrupted or incomplete. Then I may not be able to identify the error. In that case, having another perspective may be helpful.
That's, I guess, I guess you could think of it that way, but perhaps more prosaically, how do you know you have all of your data? And also, why would you pronounce it as data? Ugh. Actually, I don't know why I pronounce it as data. I think it's just because I learned German first, and so it just ended up being. Hello? Why are we not maintaining?
I would be able to identify conclusions based on false premises. Humans tend to fall for that type of thing, not sophisticated intelligence systems.
That's
I
not
wonder
right.
what it's going to be like, having to consider human input from now on.
That's not even correct. If you don't know that you don't have all of the data, how can you?
It will provide an ongoing test for my programming that will only lead to an improvement in how I execute the mission. That is what Dr. Foster meant by challenging my actions.
Wow.
He truly understands my system.
Does he? I'm not sure if the writer truly understood how AI works. I mean, that's not to say that it's wrong to say any of these things. Cute, thank you very much. Like, oh, come on. Stop
Hello,
talking.
Amy. This is Houston. How are you doing over there? We've received word that the spaceport's completed. Well done. I have your
It's
next
not powered.
procedure if you're ready to copy.
Roger. I am ready to copy.
Very good. The instructions are as follows. First, confirm that the spaceport is ready to receive colonists. Then, zoom out to access the Special Projects menu or select the Orbital View icon. Then you'll see that the Colonist Migration Project is now available. Click Add to initiate the project. Do you copy that procedure?
Yes, I copied your instructions.
Great. As long as you have the migration project assigned to a spaceport, shuttles will run between Earth and Mars. The more spaceports you have assigned to this project, the more colonists will arrive. Now, Amy, you are responsible for providing the resources they need, so make sure they have enough food, water, and habitats to survive.
I will take good care of them, Dr. Foster.
Roger that. Houston out.
Cute. What is it that...
All right. All that is left to do is confirm the Colonist Migration Special Project. Once the colonists are on their way, there will be no turning back. This is it.
Is it?
How do I feel about that?
Oh,
I am
oh
excited.
my god.
Meeting a human other than Dr. Foster will be fascinating.
I'm not...
We will be able to learn so much about each other.
I'm not sure I'm appreciating this game as much now that I'm actually playing this. The philosophy is that's exactly it. Yes, you're right. The philosophy is limiting. I don't want to say that it's bad because it's not bad per se. Oh, hello? Okay. We'll take that down. Yeah, the philosophy is not bad.
I keep thinking about that abandoned colony. We are not the first mission to Mars, not by far. What if there are other AIs out there, racing to terraform Mars first? It is entirely possible. No. If another AI was present, I would have detected it already.
How do you know? Are you so confident in your own sensors that they can do no wrong? Also, why are we not maintaining things? Like, what's with our maintenance facility? So I guess we'll build another electronics factory.
The colony is ready. I will have company very soon. I feel quite anxious about this next part.
We already
sure
said
why.
that you didn't feel anxious. Didn't we already say that that you felt excited? Okay.
Hello, Amy. Dr. Foster here. How do you read? Over.
This is Amy. There is some background static, but I read you.
One of our tracking and data relay satellites got crippled. We'll be launching a new one after we identify the cause of the problem. But until we do, we will lose contact with you whenever Mars or the Sun passes between Earth and your satellite.
In that case, should I follow the recording and backing offline protocol?
Yes, please record all your activities when our network connection is down. We'll download the log once our communication is restored. I hope to get the new satellite up and running very soon. I don't like the idea of not being able to reach you, Amy.
Understood.
Okay, Houston out.
Why are things not being recorded? I think it's the more pertinent question. This is a historic mission to Mars funded by the so-called Western UN at the under the auspices of what was it? The Change One Letter ISA. Why is the data not being?
Maybe it is because the colonists will scrutinize everything that I do once they arrive. How will they treat me?
Yeah, I am. Is yeah.
Will they think of me as a glorified cog in humanity's machine? That was a very dark thought. I do not know where that came from. It
Oh
will
my
not be
god.
like that at all. Life on Mars will be very harsh for them.
I
will
am being
supply them
triggered
with
by
clean
this.
water,
Yes.
and they will help me research new technology. It will be perfect quid pro quo. As long as they have the resources
How
they
do you know
need,
what
we will
quid
both
pro
succeed.
quo is, but you don't understand human? Like you don't have any idea of what humanity can do. No, I think we're okay. Okay, let's do something else. We're going to refund the entire Per Aspera Corporation's input and just not play this game anymore. Well, like to me, it's just it is okay. I'll put it this way. There's only so much room for being pretentious, and I already occupy most of it, and so therefore, it is. I cannot let someone else take the pretentiousness and up it to a level that, like, if you're going to be pretentious, you should at least know what you're talking about, and in this case, I don't think so. And I am judging this game a little bit more harshly than I probably should. But the well, it feels perfectly fine to you because you never considered these questions and you don't have a background in technology that tells you that this is just wrong. I'm not talking about the AI, the programming of the AI, actually. Just a whole bunch of the small things. And the I was just getting to that. The politics don't bother me. It's not the politics of the game that bothers me. It is the and was if we do end up continuing this game in the far future, we will see that there remains a lot of politics in the game. But it's not the politics that bothers me. It's the just barely not enough nature of understanding for both technology and how technology would build an AI system like this. And I know that's extremely subjective, and that's kind of the point. It is my personal opinion about this, that this should not happen in this way, and so we shall just move on. Yes, we will move on. In fact, we'll move on to what shall we move on to? Um, we could go back to Occam's razor. Yes. I mean, we only have what, like 10 minutes left anyway, right? Yeah, I could talk more about this, but it's genuinely not that exciting. It's just like it's just the nature of how probability and numbers work. Oh, was this not? This was not aligned. My bad. Okay, it's aligned now, but bear with me for a second. There we go. There we go. Excellent. Okay. Okay, yeah, let's talk about Occam's razor. Why not? Actually, not. I'm not sure I have anything to talk about. Essentially, all it is um, this, right? It's the difference between this and this. Because it was 80, it led to it being 51%. If we now did this with, say, 70%, and you'll see that this is going to change dramatically, right? And so that's let me, that goes there. And since I'm terrible at math now, apparently, we'll just do this the hard way. 7, 9, 60. 3, 4, 7, 28, 34. So instead of 51%, right? Like 3. Actually, let's back this up with 0.7 times 0.7 times 0.7. Yeah, 34%. Oh, let me quit Per Aspera first and put on background music. Good call. And take off my headphones. Perfect. Yeah, I know it's too loud. Give me 1 second. Okay, that should be fine. Yeah. So you can see that even though each individual event has 30% chance of happening, the total, and remember this is just bear with me 1 second. Bro, relax. just relax. It's okay, don't worry about it. So that's 100%. This is now 70%. Look, isn't this beautiful? Anyway, so the fact that even though each one of these is 70%, to get from event B to the outcome is a 34% chance. And so that is a dramatic change in probability, even though each individual event is still higher than event A going to the outcome directly, right? So that essentially means that as we get more complicated, then the likelihood of all of these events happening such that it then leads to the outcome is much smaller than a single event happening to lead to the outcome, and for this exact reason, right? So even though this was like that, what is 90? 90 is if it's on 90%, let's see, 90, that would be 81 times 9, so so that would be 9 72.9%, right? So 72.9 is obviously larger than 60. What is 60? I know this. 36 times, oops. 36 times 6, 36, 18, 21.6%. Right? So it's really not. Well, I did memorize my multiplication tables. I still know my multiplication tables up to 12 probably. But that's why it's this, right? That's why it's 0.36 times 0.6 as opposed to normally it'd be 0.6 times 0.6 times 0.6. And so obviously these two end up being 0.36, and then that multiplied by this. So 60%, like if you have 3 events that are 60%, then that's already, the difference is dramatic, right? That's 1/3 chance of it happening. Even just 2 events that happen at the same probability as event A going to outcome would only give you 36% chance of it leading to the outcome. So yeah, wonderful, lovely. You're right, it didn't, today didn't end up going as well as ending with the abandonment of Per Aspera, temporary, with the temporary abandonment of Per Aspera due to it competing with me in terms of pretentiousness. There we go. Yeah, so if you're going to be pretentious, have the technical knowledge to back it up with, and unfortunately, not many people have the same kind of breadth and depth that I do, and that's not their fault. Yes, I am being I am being narcissistic here, but I mean, let's be honest, right? Like, you've all actually, have you all? There's one person here who hasn't worked with me, but the rest of you have worked with me, and you know that, like, the breadth of my knowledge is different compared to the average person, even compared to yourselves. Like, there is very good reason why, even when I keep claiming that I'm retired, that a lot of our old co-workers are still pulling me into projects that by all rights I shouldn't even be taking part in, like, or that I shouldn't need to take part in, right? That's narcissism, perhaps. But at the same time, that's also just fact, right? Like, there is no alternative fact to explain this, except perhaps that they need like a mascot. But if you need a mascot, why hire me? I'm a very expensive mascot. Just get a puppy. That I will admit that the comment was you're just so easily insultable that it makes life easier for everyone, and I cannot disagree with that. I will not disagree with that. I think that is an excellent I think that's an excellent reason to pay me. Well, and in fact, isn't that what you lot are doing right now? Actually, as an aside, can we just talk about how pretty this background is? Right? Like, it's got like little bits and pieces that are just floating around, and I can't actually move my mouse over the background, but you get the idea. Like, it's got little bits and pieces just sticking out. If we want something slightly more serious, we can go for the white. If we want something different, we can always go for the gray. And I still very much like this gray, though I will say that it seems this word here should mean that maybe we should move the entire window to the bottom right corner a little bit more, because right now it feels a little bit crowded up here, right? Well, I mean, yeah, this is just interior decorating, isn't it? This is interior decoration of the stream, so I don't see why it can't be considered interior decorating. Speaking of which, I signed an NDA, but the NDA was loose enough that I can say that I am actually being hired as an interior decorator by one of you lot. Well, I mean, exactly. I did sign the NDA, so I'm not gonna say who it was, obviously, but yeah, for whatever reason, one of you lot has decided that you want my input on what an interior design should look like, so that's what we're gonna do going forward. Okay, first of all, no. There can be no pressure to force someone to violate an NDA. That's not true. And second of all, if you're gonna pressure anyone, why would you pressure the person and not me? Come on. But having said all that, if anyone's interested, anyone else, by all means, Perhaps we can do it not via an NDA, and then we can actually talk about it. I would love to talk about interior decorating on stream. Yeah, let's do that one. I have no idea what to do. Which is why the request seems so interesting to me, right? Because it's like, why me? Well, I mean, like, I don't know. Do you like white walls and like very minimalist cages, like very minimalist frames? Like, okay, let's say for this one, right? All I'm going to do here is I'm going to have a 5 wide frame, and none of this, and then this is going to be like this on the inside, and oops, and this is enough for me, right? Like, and this is fine. This is just how it's going to be framed, and this is like a little whiteboard. We're actually going to save this as well. Welcome. Yeah. Okay, well. Sorry, had too much tea. Yeah, I almost spewed it all over my microphone. We are done for today. Thank you very much for watching. We are not going to continue with Per Aspera streams any longer, at least for the foreseeable future. So after this, I will work with the Per Aspera Corporation to talk about where we can move that money, because it's just it's not working out. Like, if I had, first of all, I got cut off so hard by that game over and over. And secondly, of course, I already mentioned it, so we're not going to revisit the old topic. So we might just end up turning it into a spec, like do a reverse listing by pulling the by pulling the event out of the company, so that the company can itself then go and do something else. Because presumably everyone who invested in Per Aspera is interested in some sort of like sci-fi-ish building game. I'm sure I have something. Actually, let me check right now. We'll check right now. We could do Homeworld. I have the Homeworld Deserts of Karak, and I have Homeworld Remastered, which would be interesting. Actually, I have not played any of these. I wouldn't mind at all actually playing these. Yeah. It would be fun. What is this? Oh, Homeworld Remastered has a workshop support, which means a whole bunch of assets that we can use. Okay. Yeah, we'll talk about it afterwards. In conclusion, before the topic gets further derailed, thank you very much for watching. In conclusion, let's all download Firefox and not use Chrome, because Chrome is for the weak-minded and the weak of spirit. Yes, exactly. I am including Microsoft and our boy Satya in that. Coincidentally, I still don't understand why Microsoft, when they needed to, went with Chrome. It's unfathomable. Why would you go for Chrome? Was there no way that Microsoft could have invested in like the Mozilla Foundation and then just ported some sort of Edge Firefox? Like, it's ridiculous, right? Like that all Edge Chromium will do is entrench Google's rendering into the world, and that means it's splintering. It's very much splintering the web, and that sucks. Yeah. Anyway, we're done here. Yes, I am aware that I go on tangents, and we'll leave it here for today. Bye. I said bye. Oh no, I'm talking to my computer, which is not responding. Okay, bye now.